What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. We got a big four-gamer WNBA slate on Tuesday night. $20,000 to first. You absolutely love to see these huge contests. I just got finished with a crazy stream leading up to the two-gamer tonight. Just a ton of news with DT and Rebecca Allen being out. Then Natasha Mack starting. Was crazy. Was a fun stream. Ended up having to make a lineup on stream because we got the Mac starting news. Then Odyssey Sims is starting over Uzin. Just crazy. So we'll look at my lineup that I played. I only played the one lineup in the big contest. I did play Clea Copper, mentioned it in the Discord and on the stream that I was really high on her. I think her and Natasha Cloud will see a couple extra minutes tonight. They just need her. They're having to fill 30+% usage. So to get her at 14%, I'm really excited, really happy about that. Hopefully she has a good shooting game. Natasha Cloud was only like 16%. I was expecting them to come in low 30s. I wish I played both of them now. Would have been just crazy leverage. I will take those ownership numbers all day long. Odyssey Sims starting 38%. Feels like a little bit of the field fell asleep. Honestly, in my opinion, I kind of fell asleep at the wheel. NECA 47%. Ezzy come in a little bit lower than her. Nat Howard 44%. Feels about right. Enrique 42%. Feels a bit low, honestly, but there was so many good guard plays. Natasha Mack 38%. Once she was starting, she was a lock-in for me. But that's my lineup. It's going to be fun to see what the winning lineup is tonight. It could be something crazy. I think one of Clea Copper or Natasha Cloud will be in the winning lineup. I think their usage is going to go sky high. I tried finding a build with Natasha Cloud that I really liked. I ended up on this one leaving some salary on the table, but I'm really high on those two. We'll see how it ends up, but we'll look at the odds for this four-gamer, and then we'll break it down team by team. Sky at the Dream, 1.5 point spread, over under 159.5. I don't know why the Dream are favorites here. I would prefer the Sky side of that one. Lynx at the Liberty, rematch of the Commissioner's Cup final. Lynx are 6-point dogs. That just seems asinine to me, just crazy. Over under 165. Fever at the Aces, 13.5 point spread, over under 175.5. Mystics at the Sparks, 1 point spread, over under 162. That is what we call the toilet bowl, my friends. But start with the rematch of the Commissioner's Cup Championship. On the Minnesota side, obviously Fee 12K, firmly in play. Been fantastic all season. Sprained her shooting wrist, which was kind of worrisome. Did not have a good shooting game, but I mean, she just stuffed the stat sheet. 13 points, 11 boards, 6 assists, 7 stocks. Just ridiculous upside in a player like her. She's always going to score well. And then if she's pitching in the peripherals, she can really pop. Kayla McBride, 8,700. A good tournament play. She's really scoring dependent. I mean, she got 10 peripheral stats here. Not really expecting that on a night-to-night basis. Did not shoot the ball that many times, but shot and made every free throw. She's a great free throw shooter, so that helps. But she is tied to her fantasy upside is tied to her scoring, so just remember that. Alana Smith, 8,500. Minutes are going to cap out about 25, in my opinion, going forward. They want to play Dorca some, so her ceiling is really limited. Carrollton, 7,700. We remember what she did against New York the last time they played. Shot 8 of 10, 6 of 8 from 3, and absolutely popped. But this is her floor against Chicago. The minutes were still there, which is a positive, but she shot 2 of 7 and didn't really pitch in much in the peripheral stats, only 13.5 fantasy points. That is the downside to paying $7,700 for Bridget Carrollton. Whole lot nicer when she was $6,700, because those games like that would not kill you. Courtney Williams, 7,200. Minutes tick back up. If she plays high 20s minutes, I love the price tag on her at 7,200. She's going to get to go against Courtney Vandersloot. There is ways to attack there. She's usually pretty good at getting peripherals. The past couple games have not been that great, but she always has peripheral upside. Dorka, 5,800. Hard to prioritize, but she's going to play mid-teens minutes, so don't mind her in large field tournaments. Natisha Heidemann, 5,400. She would get extended if Courtney Williams was to get benched or pulled for any reason. She's a decent fantasy point per minute player. She's been playing better of late. Diamond Miller, poor Diamond. Minutes did tick up to 9. I would expect her to play 10 to 12. She's just not been very good this season, which she was hurt, and now she's coming back from her injury, so she needs some time to knock the rust off. But I would expect 10 to 12 minutes, just probably not someone I'm playing yet. Zandalasini played 18 minutes this past time out. Her fantasy upside is tied to her scoring. If she scores well in real life, she's going to have a decent fantasy game. Not playing Afufa, Peely, or Kone. On the New York side, Stewie, 11.5K. We all know what she can do. She filled the stat sheet last time out against Atlanta. Played 37 minutes. So assuming if this game's close, Baby Sabali is still out, so she should play, I would say, somewhere right around this 37-minute range, 37, 38. She's starting to shoot the 3-ball better. She's a great scorer, one of the best in the WNBA. Obviously, big upside when she actually wants to go and play aggressive. She can outscore anyone in the WNBA, outside of maybe Asia. Sabrina, really poor shooting game last time out. The peripherals take a hit with Courtney Vandersloot back in the lineup and Benaj Laney back in the lineup. So really comes down to her scoring. She's still going to get some peripheral stats, but if she's not scoring the ball, we know her floor is pretty low, but she's still chunking. Like 17 shot attempts, 11 three-pointers. Like, she's still chunking. I love the usage from her of late. I don't mind paying that 10-5 price point. Jonquel Jones. Jeez, what happened? 3 shot attempts against Minnesota, then 5 against Atlanta. She looked disinterested in the game. She did not look like she was enjoying herself out there. She's never really commanded a lot of usage. She's always been pretty passive. She's just super efficient with the shots that she takes. If she takes double-digit shots, she usually gets there. But if she's not going to be aggressive and looking for her shots to get to even the double-digit mark, it's really hard to trust her. But a fantastic tournament play because we all know the upside that she brings. Benaj Laney, 8,100. Price is really solid. She shot the ball well. She's going to play mid-30s minutes. Really been grinding the peripheral stats, and been a solid scorer on the season for the most part. She gets some open looks at threes, can nail them. Courtney Vandersloot, 6,900. Price is really solid on Sloot. She played 21 minutes. Would expect that number to tick up a bit, maybe 24, 25. Get back to her first of the year at 28, 29, but they're going to slowly bring her back up. All depends on her scoring. We know she's going to get a bunch of assists. She can grab a couple boards, get a couple steals. If she scores in double figures, she's easily going to pay off that salary. Kayla Thornton needs to hit her threes to hit value. Obviously, she played 10 minutes last time out, shot 0 of 2, put up 4 fantasy points. So she's going to play mid-teens minutes off the bench. If she does not hit her threes, she is going to score in single digits. Phoebich, 5,200, played bigger minutes off the bench because she come in and played well. So really tough to decide between her and Thornton. They're just going to go with the hot hand. Both of them are priced up a little bit. Not either of them at that price. I'm probably just fading. Kennedy Burke saw 13 minutes off the bench. She's fine. Not the best fantasy point per minute player, but she's really up and down. I don't think you need to go there. On to the next game, Chicago at Atlanta. On the Chicago side, Angel Reese, 10.3K. Kept her double-double streak intact with a last-second free throw. Shot 4 of 16, which was really rough. 35 minutes, though, is solid. The matchup here is one of the best in the WNBA. I love the bounce-back spot for her. And, I mean, even she shot 4 of 16 and still put up 31 fantasy points. The big upside is there in a player like Angel Reese. Love her here. Marina Mabry, 9,100, perfect tournament play. Still getting a bunch of shots up. She's just not been efficient of late. She's not ever really a truly efficient player, but the night when she shoots 10 of 20, shoots 50%, she can really pop and win you a tournament. Kennedy Carter, 8,300. If she's going to play 34 minutes, $8,300 is simply too cheap for a player of her caliber. Camila Cardoso, 7,900. Really, really rough game. Shot 1 of 9, but the minutes were there. 31 minutes, 10 rebounds, 1 block. Love the bounce back spot here for her at 7,900. Price is solid. Lindsey Allen priced all the way up to 6,800. Playing big minutes, seeing low 30s minutes. My only worry is if she does not play as good as she has been, they will limit her to maybe mid-20s, maybe even low 20s. So keep that in mind. I figure she's going to be popular coming off of her 38 point breakout, and the price is pretty steep. Dana Evans, 5,100, just completely fallen out of the rotation, not even playing very much. It has come at the emergence of Lindsey Allen, so Evans would see more time if Allen struggles. Harrison going to play 12 to 15 off the bench. Would play more if Cardoso or Reese gets in foul trouble. No interest in DeShields, Turner, or Wnba. On the Atlanta side, we already got word that Ron Howard is still out, and Ariel Powers is going to miss another game. So Tina Charles, 9,600. Looks great. I mean, she's been solid. She's been super consistent. Would expect her to play right around 30 minutes, assuming the game stays competitive and she stays out of foul trouble. Solid play at that price point. Alicia Gray, 8K. Like the price tag on her. We finally faded. She played 36 minutes, shot 8 of 13, had a really, really good game. The peripheral stats have not been the best of late, and now with Canada back, her assists are just non-existent at this point. Decent play, just scoring dependent. Jordan Canada, 7,500, played 38 minutes last time out against New York. She looked incredible out there. Price point is still too cheap in my opinion. She should play practically the entire game in a great matchup. Haley Jones, 6,700 minutes are ticking back down for her. Zero interest at that price point. Cheyenne Parker, minutes tick back up a little bit. She played well. Price is going down. It's just really hard to trust her with the minutes, and her and the coach just don't get along. I would expect her to play 15 to 18 off the bench, maybe push for 20 if she's playing well, but always at risk of getting pulled. Nia Coffey, 6,100, going to play right around 20 minutes. Really, really volatile player. Has shown flashes of a couple good games, but really, really low floors. Naz Hillman, perfectly fine. Only saw 11 minutes last time out, 5.5 fantasy points. So you got to know what you're getting out of her. She's going to play low to mid-teens minutes. Really hard to trust at times, like a lot of these Atlanta players. Maya Caldwell, 3,900. Price went up a little bit from 34. She's going to play decent minutes. I mean, she went from 13 to 25. She outplayed Haley Jones, so she got extended a little bit. Would imagine her minutes are going to settle in around like that 15 to 18 range, but Tanisha Wright trusts her, and she played well, so if she continues to play well, I would expect her to get some more run over Haley Jones. No interest in Amihir or Kubaj. On to the next game. Indiana at Las Vegas. On the Indiana side, Caitlin Clark, 10.7K. We all know the upside that she has. I mean, she almost went for a triple-double, 15, 12, and 9, shot 4 of 14, put up 43.5 fantasy points. Big upside in a player like Caitlin Clark. I always mention it because it needs to be said. I mean, one of these games, she's not going to shoot 28% from the field. She's going to put together one of these where she shoots 50% and she pops for like 19 plus peripheral stats and she goes for 60. And you're going to want her in your lineup. And guess what? She's playing a team that don't want to play defense and that wants to play as fast as possible. That fits right into her hand. Love this spot for her. Only worry is a potential blowout, but in her favor, Coach Sides has been leaving her out there in blowouts. Just trying to pad her stats a little bit, I guess, but I would expect her to play 38 plus minutes. If this game is competitive, she might play the entire game. Leah Boston, 9,800. played 34 minutes. I was expecting her minutes to tick down, but she has been playing so well. Sometimes you're not seeing it in DFS, but watching the games, she's playing a lot better live than the DFS numbers are showing. She had a much better game than this 32 fantasy points showed. She's going to go to war with Asia tomorrow night. I'm excited for it. Melissa Smith, 9,200. She's been playing well. She's playing low 30s minutes. My only worry is potential foul trouble guarding Asia. Kelsey Mitchell, 7,800. Really come on in the second half. She started abysmally and still did not pay off this 7,600. She's super score independent. Only saw 21 minutes. They completely abandoned her in the first half. So super risky. Score independent player. Pure tournament play. Wnba down to 5,900. Only saw 13 minutes. Picked up 5 fouls. Played well when she was out there. As that price ticks back down, I will have some interest in her because we all know the Melissa Smith experiment on defense. She can completely abandon playing defense, and they will go to Wnba and leave her out there. Erica Wheeler, 4,900. Don't mind the price on her. Minutes have been ticking up, and she's been playing better of late. She's a solid value. Christy Wallace, really tough to trust. You're going to play right around 18 minutes. Just a super low floor of late. She's been getting a lot of pressure from the outside world. Katie Lou, 4,200. Really hard to trust. Minutes tick back up to 18. She did not shoot the ball well, so therefore she did not have a very good fantasy game. But at her price, if she hits a couple threes, she can pay that price tag off. Saxton isn't playing. Berger's not playing. Dantas still has not touched the floor yet. Lexi Hull's playing like 5 to 6 minutes a night, not someone you can consider. On the Aces side, we already have confirmation that Tiffany Hayes is not with the team, so she will not be playing tomorrow night. Asia Wilson at the top, 13.5K. 13.4K Asia at 70% busted. Had her worst game of the season by a couple fantasy points. Shot 4-15. I mean, I'm hoping we can get a little bit lower on Asia on a 4-game slate at 13.5K. Obviously, she's still in play at that price point. You can still get to her. There's plenty of value out there. But she is not a must on a 4-game slate at that price. Just going to leave that out there. But obviously, I mean, it's Asia Wilson. She's the best player in the WNBA. She's going to win MVP. She can easily pay off that price tag. Jackie Young, 9,400, has been playing really well. She's been super efficient shooting the ball. She's been very aggressive on the offensive end, which I love to see. We didn't see it a lot at the first of the year. The peripheral stats have been up and down. That's the only concern is if she does not shoot the ball very well, she's going to have one of these 20 fantasy point games. But they're going to need her scoring. I love the matchup for her here. Kelsey Plum, 8,900. Peripherals have been up of late. Her scoring, she shot 1 of 8 last time out. 2 real-life points. She has some upside. 8,900 seems a bit steep for her, but great tournament play. Chelsea Gray, 7K. Once again, I don't understand why she's not getting priced up. They're just leaving her at this 7K. She only played 26 minutes. Would expect that number to go up a little bit, probably near 30. Shot 8 of 9. Obviously not expecting that again, but she's going to get you the peripheral stats, and she just shown her upside to score. One of the best plays on the slate. Once again, she needs to be like 8,500, like to keep people from just auto clicking her. Kia Stokes, 5,500, playing mid-20s minutes. We know what she brings to the table. She's not she's not an offensive threat whatsoever. She's out there for her defense. Her blocking still upside, her rebounding, and her defense. She's fine at 5,500 if you land on her. Alicia Clark should see a little bit of extra run with Tiffany Hayes out. Just not a very good fantasy point per minute player. Not asked to do a lot on offense. With Tiffany Hayes out, it will help. Kate Martin, 3,400. I would have some interest in her as a cheap value play. Would expect that she plays 15-ish minutes off the bench. But my only concern is Kirsten Bell is back, and they could play Colson over Martin. They have not been lately, so that does work in Martin's favor. If I'm making a bunch of lineups, I would have some Kate Martin. Last game of the night, Washington at Los Angeles. On the Washington side, still without Brittany Sykes. Shakira Austin, I don't believe. Yep, she's already been ruled out. Carly Samuelson is out. Atkins 9K, fantastic matchup, playing huge minutes. Love Ariel Atkins for tournaments. The floor is pretty low, but the ceiling, I don't even think she's had a true ceiling game yet. Stephanie Dolson, Big Mama. She is playing some of her best basketball in years. Love to see it from her. Not expecting her to shoot 8 of 11 again, but she's been really active on the glass. She's been playing just really good basketball. I would expect her minutes to tick back down to like the high 20s range, but if she continues to play well, she's going to continue to play low 30s minutes. Aaliyah Edwards, 7,400 price has started to come down a little bit. Only saw 20 minutes last time out. Would expect that number to tick back up a little bit and get closer to the 26 to 28 that she was playing before she got hurt. Good fantasy point per minute player. With Austin off the floor, she's still well north of a 1 fantasy point per minute average. Misha Hines Allen at 7,100, really, really hard for me to recommend. She's had 2 really good games back to back here. I mean, shot 8 of 8. Like, that's hard to replicate. Then in 18 minutes, she put up 24 fantasy points. She can have these games where she really pops, and then she'll have these games where she doesn't score double figures in fantasy points. She's still only going to play 15 to 18 minutes. Even if she starts, they're not going to push her over that, especially with Aaliyah Edwards back. They want to play the rookie, so really hard to play her at that price point. Story Walker Kimbrough has been playing huge minutes. 33 in back-to-back games. Did not shoot the ball well last time out. Still put up 17.5 fantasy points. The price tag is getting up there at 6,100, but they insta-pulled Dee Richards. Like, she only saw 12 minutes. She did not play very well in those 12 minutes. So, Story Walker Kimbrough is a lot better of a defender. So, even if Dee Richards starts, I would have some interest in her at that price point, but the hook is very quick with her. Ingsler, 5,700, just 10 minutes. That's about what I expect from her, maybe even a little bit less as Aaliyah Edwards gets healthier. Van Loo, 5,600. The price is solid for her. She played 30 minutes, took 11 shots. She's a great facilitator, always going to get some assists. Need her to hit her threes to hit value, though. I mentioned Dee Richards. Jade Melbourne, 4,400. Only played 10 minutes last time out. Solid fantasy point per minute if she actually gets the minutes. Just really hard to trust. Not playing Brown Turner. On the Spark side, Azura Stevens, she said today that she is back to full contact practice and plans to make her season debut before the Olympic break. I don't know if she'll play in this game or if it may be a little bit later on, maybe this weekend, but that is great news. They have not been wanting to play Lee Uru, so they need Stevens out there. It would really help them. Dearica Hamby is back. She's back to her early season ways and still only playing 32 minutes. I would expect this game to be uber competitive because it's the bottom 2 teams in the league, in my opinion. She might push for high 30s minutes. I've been shooting the ball better of late. She's stuffing the stat sheet. I love the upside that Hamby brings, and she will be low owned with all of the studs everywhere else on this slate. Ari McDonald, 8,200, is fine. It's a tough price to pay with Clarendon back. I would expect her to play high 20s minutes. 10 assists. She's been great at facilitating ever since she entered the starting lineup, and she can score. There's games where if she scores in double figures, she's going to put up a good fantasy game. That price point's just a little bit high, in my opinion. It's really hard to prioritize her over Jordan Canada or Chelsea Gray. Rakia Jackson, 7,600. It's fine. The price tag is that's a really, really high price to pay for someone that's pretty scoring dependent most of the time. Every now and then she'll have a game where she grabs 6 or 7 boards. For the most part, it's 1, 2, 3, and then it all hinges on if she's scoring or not. Talbot, all the way up to 6,300, played 34 minutes last time out. Had a Talbot game, 14 fantasy points in 34 minutes. You're pretty much playing the volume there at 6,300. Price tag is still pretty solid for her, in my opinion. Uru, just like not even worth playing at 6K unless she starts, and I'm not expecting her to start. Kia Nurse, 5,500, had a good game. 29 minutes at 5,200, she put up 21 fantasy points, shot 3 of 8, had 4 stocks. Not expecting that to happen again. With Clarendon back, really hard to play like Kia Nurse, Burrell, Cook, or even Clarendon. Clarendon's 4,100. If you were ever considering playing her, it's probably now. I personally am not, so I won't be playing her. There's just so many guards that they can rotate through. When most of them are healthy, I just have very little interest in really any of them. Like Burrell and Cook, I don't know why they don't get more run. Season's in the gutter. Play your young girls. Let them get some run. See what you got in them. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I didn't have Underdog up. I don't have rankings up or anything, but if you'll hop in the Discord, I'll post a link in the description, and I'll post my rankings. I'm going to work on projections and everything as soon as this video's out, and I'll post rankings and notes for Underdog either later on tonight or first thing in the morning. But if you enjoy the content, leave a like. Really helps out the channel grow. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.